Okay, we are back. Last time we cleared out depths. And now we're kind of at an impasse where we're really trying to decide what we're going to do for the final leg of this journey. I was thinking about it, and as silly as this may sound, I may in fact want to start using statue form a little bit, because look at that big fat pile of AC I have when I'm in stat form. That is 39 AC. Now, significantly less attack speed, I suppose, in terms of, by attack speed I actually mean casting spells, and moving as well actually gets slowed down. Everything's slower in stat form. But 39 AC, man, that turns us into a formidable opponent. Makes us a lot less afraid. In fact, it makes us better than average in terms of defense. And that's with 0 transmutations training. If we pump a little bit of transmutations training, we might be able to get another pip or two. So we're going to train a little transmutations. Forget necromutation. We have staff form. Staff form's more than enough. And what we're going to do is, keeping staff form up, we're going to go into hell. And we're going to take out Gehenna. We'll start by casting the Malign Tentacle, and then we're going to blink all the way over here, and we're going to make a kill hole. Certainly it would be faster in terms of turn count if we were not in staff form right now. But if we take the odd attack on the way, there's so much more chance that we'll take no damage, or we'll take a couple damage, rather than eating 100 hit points worth of damage and having a very bad day. There's these Caco demons, unfortunately, which can show up in Vestibule. They can dig, which is a bit obnoxious. Because when you're trying to do a kill hole here, well, as you can see, they can sort of ruin your kill hole. That's fine. We have summons and lots of them. In general, we will keep stat form off unless we're facing something that can do damage to us at range, such as these hell hogs, which will fireball us. Because AC does work against magic. GDR doesn't, but AC works. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that because of the lack of GDR, there's no guarantee that the spell won't just do full damage. It'll just ignore your AC sometimes, if it rolls correctly. But there's still a very good chance that it will block most or all of it. Can't begin to tell you how nice it is to have controlled blink on tap like this. But it's not necessary. If we hadn't found Malign Gateway, I wouldn't have trained very much T-locations. Translocations would get trained to the point where I could cast Passage of Galubria, and no further. But if you have Malign Gateway, there's really no reason not to go full hog. Assuming both are available to you. Now, this kill hole strategy in Vestibule is not strictly necessary, but I like to do it, and the reason is because Gehenna has that summon ability that makes Hellbeasts, and Hellbeasts can shove you right off the staircase. So if you're planning on just sort of leaving Hell as soon as things get bad, there are a number of things in Hell, even in the Vestibule, that will stop you from doing that. There are zombies, of kinds of snakes that will entwine you, or constrict you, rather. There are the hell beasts to shove you off. There are, I think, skeletal dragons can shove you off as well. Maybe not. There are reapers with distortion size that can teleport you. So in general, I'd rather sort of control the number of things I fight at once with a kill hole than control the number of things I fight at once with staircase dancing. Looks like we were a little bit unlucky, or lucky if you like Murray. We were a little bit unlucky by having a Murray spawn in our vestibule. He is a unique that seems to be a bit rare. He's just a cursed skull, and he's not terribly different from a regular cursed skull, except he has more hit points, and he has black mark and a few other things. Essentially, you just want to kill him quickly. We are going to... Let's see, does he fly? I would assume yes, he flies. Does he? Well, that's curious. No, he doesn't. It says he rolls along the ground. So he's not flying. That means that airstrike is not going to do a ton of damage to him. Let's make a mana viper, because that stuff is affected by anti-magic. Unfortunately, he is tormenting us. We'll let this do the work. We should be okay. He has abjuration, unfortunately, so we'll just airstrike him while our tentacle slaps him around, and he dies. Very good. We could have gone stat form there to reduce the torment damage, but we do have 3 pips of negative resistance. So we're not taking a ton of torment damage. I mean, as far as torment damage goes, it's never fun. I think it's something like 35% even at maximum torment resist. But with that said, there we go. Now we have the Horn of Geryon, which is a half-decent summoning item. Gives you hell beasts. Gives you hell beasts, which will eventually turn on you, but they can shove things away from you, which is nice. Just looking at my overview here, it seems like it says Ilsui is still marked in shoals. I must have not actually killed her, which is odd. Thought I took her out. Oh well. Let's clear out the vestibule. No reason not to. And if we have to fly back here, or run back here rather, which we very well might do, considering the way that hell works, it's nice to have a fully cleared vestibule so it's nice and safe. No different than the rest of the dungeon, really, in terms of wanting to be safe, wanting to be able to retreat to a non-monster filled location. Alright. So, we're going to drop this ring of poison resistance. I just realized I was still wearing that. Stat form will actually make you immune to poison. Not just resistant, immune to poison. So there's no good reason for us to wear that ring. If we get super poison, we'll just throw on stat form and wait for the poison to go away. No big deal. So let's see what rings we've got. Let's put on something nice. Probably... yeah, let's go Pro Fire. We'll get Pro Fire just so we can have a second pip of it. Because we are going into Gehenna, which in my opinion is one of the... it's fun, but it's also tedious layers of hell. Looks like we left a ring of protection from fire in shoals. And now we go to Gehenna. So this video will be taking down Gehenna and Vestibule. And depending on how long Gehenna takes us, I may go ahead and conglomerate this and do 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 more hells, depending on how long this takes me. But this is not the kind of thing you want to rush. What you do want to do, however, is you don't want to fully explore these hells. Now, here's the mechanic. You probably already know how this works, but for those of you who don't, I will explain. You enter into one of these hells. You've got 4 hells. You've got Gehenna, you've got Cocytus, which is the icy one, you've got Dis, which is focused around physical damage, and then you've got Tartarus, which is focused around negative damage. Gehenna is heat and fire. Every single one of these works basically the same. You go in, and you've got 7 levels, and if you go up from any staircase, you end up back in Vestibule. So if I go down here and then I were to go back up, I would be in Vestibule. And you see that it's not a traditional staircase up, it's a gateway to hell. So no treasure really spawns in here. So there's not a good reason for you to fool around on these levels. In fact, there's a very good motivation for you not to fool around in here because, as you can see, stuff just kind of spawns around you every so often. Those are called hell effects. Hell effects are very unpleasant. Varying degrees of unpleasant depending on which hell you're in. Dis, for example, can petrify you, which is only slightly less obnoxious than paralyzation. So you really got to be careful. You can be slowed by hell effects, you can be drained by hell effects, you can just take some damage from it, and it can pop down all kinds of nasty monsters around you, including greater demons, such as things that hellfire or torment. We are going to rest in here. Unfortunately, we ran out of mana. Oh, see, it popped a Hellion right down next to me, so I will Iron Shot it, but in general, you don't want to fool around. Oh, we have someone talking to us. Let's say hi. I'll just tell this guy. I'm telling him I'm recording a YouTube video. As far as getting to level 27, he said getting level 27 is what did he say? Getting to level 27 in Octo is very impressive. Thank you, Scrime. It is difficult compared to other classes. You know, or other races rather. But not as much as you would think. It's very easy to get intimidated by challenge races, so to speak. But there are benefits. I mean, there are benefits to playing an Octopode. You aren't really missing any equipment slots in terms of... I mean, yeah, you don't have the traditional equipment slots, but the number of equipment slots you have is roughly the same. I think you may even have 1 or 2 more. Ah, he left. Oh well. Does that count as a guest star? Oh well. But with Octopodes, I mean, you're trading early game for late game is what's happening. And traditionally in Crawl, early game is the hard part. So if you were to say... Oh, whoops. That's a Brimstone Fiend. This is arguably one of, if not the most dangerous normal monster in the game, and by normal I mean not a unique or not a Panlord, because he can hurl damnation and he can torment you, so he can take a percentage of your hit points, with the Torment, unless you're immune, or he could just take a big chunk of your hit points, a numerical value, with the Hellfire / Damnation, whatever you want to call it. We want to kill him fast. First, we want to get away from him. Actually, we just don't want him to be next to us at all, so we're just going to go this way. Let's find out what this book is. Nothing useful. We'll just sort of walk away. Because unfortunately our tentacle hasn't killed it. Let's go out of here. But yeah, as I was saying, Octopode is not that hard. It just is worse at the early game. It's really the lack of AC that makes it easier for you to die. But as a pure caster, if you're doing your job and you're not particularly unlucky, things aren't next to you. And if they are next to you, they're going to die very quickly. You know, in the early game, we relied on things like shock, and we carefully double zapped to get a little bit of that extra damage out of it. And the biggest thing is just avoiding stuff you can't kill. You know, and even at this point, I'm still avoiding things that either I can't kill or I can't kill quickly enough to be safe. Like these Brimstone Fiends, I'm trying to spend as few turns next to them as possible. Like I saw him, I made a tentacle, and I walked into a teleport trap because, I mean, what benefit do I get at this point out of playing chicken with one of these guys, you know? Balrogs are not so dangerous. I mean, they do a decent amount of fire damage, but unlike Hellfire and Torment, that is subject to a resistance. Well, I guess technically Torment is subject to negative resistance, but not quite in the same way as you're used to. Oh boy, we are really suffering from an abundance of... Oh man. It's almost like I'm in hell. Just all these nasty guys. Brimstone Fiends for days. Thankfully, you can stand on a staircase, or a gateway in this case. And it's not altogether different than anywhere else in the game, where you stand on the staircase, or you stand near the staircase, and as soon as you think you're going to be in trouble, you just take it. And for a caster especially, that's a great strategy, because you're taking them out at range, and if the RNG just doesn't play nice with you, what you're doing effectively is you're resetting the fight. You're resetting the fight until the RNG actually works for you. We just iron shotted that fiend to death. See, if he's next to us, we're fairly confident we can iron shot him to death. Here's another one, gosh. And if we're lucky, they don't. I mean, we can be reasonably sure that if they're within range of the iron shot, we can probably kill them in 1 to 3 hits. We can't be certain. We cannot be certain. Oh, he was constricting us. What we can't be certain of is that they won't do some stuff to us in that time that we're casting Iron Shot 1 to 3 times. Now, it's entirely possible that they'll just move towards you, or they'll try to swing on you, which is, you know, that's damage, but it's not as much as they're going to get with a Torment or a Damnation, probably. So you'd prefer they try to swing on you. You'd prefer that they try to move at you. What you don't want is you don't want them to actually use their abilities. Let's see. Make some horrible things here. Unfortunately, this Tormentor is going to have to be taken care of by our buddies. Sure, you saw that explosion. That was not a firestorm. That was just a hell effect, and we resisted most of the damage. That's fine. Come on, guys. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Tormentor's dead. Tormentors, if you don't know, just love to spam Torment. That's kind of in the name. I don't think they even have an attack. Maybe they do. I think they may have Pain or something on the side. We're kind of boxed in here a bit. Trying to conserve mana as much as possible, or else I'd be helping Iron Shot these guys. Because what this is a race to the bottom. It's, can you get to the bottom of the hell fast enough without using up too many of your resources? In this case, our main resource is magic. We, of course, have Channel. I'm going to go ahead and use Channel, actually. I may start training some invocations. As I recall, we saw a manual earlier. I may grab that and train invocations if I have to go up again, because it's getting to be a little bit annoying running out of mana here. Alright, now this is unfortunate. Let's see if we can't... Do Hellions fly? I don't think Hellions fly. No, they don't. But 38 hit points. We should be able to airstrike him to death nonetheless. We really want him to be dead, and he is dead. Hellions are a real priority because they can drop Hellfire right on your face. And they're less likely to do it, from what I've seen, if you are next to other bad guys. Excuse me, but there's no guarantees. Oh, gosh. Oh, this is a bad spot. We're at 0 mana. We do have plus cast, but we're next to 2 things that can torment us, and one of those things can Hellfire us, and we only have 104 hit points, which is not as much as you would think. This is rougher than it looks. Let's try to blink away. That's good. You hear an explosion. I wonder what that was. What do we want to do here? I think we'll walk a bit, and we'll just see if... Darn. Hearing explosions. What is that? It says you hear an explosion. Wonder what that is. What do we want to do? This is one of those situations I'm really tempted to drink a haste potion and dig our way out of here. Let's see how fast. Let's dig first and walk. Oh man, does he move at speed 1, at speed 12? He just tormented us. Jeez. Speed 13. I forgot they were fast. That's not good. In that case, we are just going to drink haste. And we're going to dig. We're going to make those guys. And we're going to drink an ambrosia. Try to get some of our hit points back. That is just not working out for us. Okay, this is good. This is good. This gives us a little more time to heal. I really should have trained some necromancy and charms up, because then I would be able to cast regenerate, which would be very nice to have in a situation like this. Let's go ahead and recharge our digging wand, because we want to keep getting out of here if we can. Because if that Brimstone Fiend... Oh, there he is. What's the best way to deal with this? Well, his abilities are affected by anti-magic, so we're going to rest up a bit and let it attack our abomination from off-screen. And just sort of keep summoning things for it to attack from off-screen. Unfortunately, our stuff will not hit him back, but it's some hit points that are in the way while I heal up. This is... Here's what we'll do. We'll make the Wand of Digging take us this way. And we'll see how... Oh, this is good. Check it out. Mana Viper hits him. Magic leaks into the air. So he's not going to be doing so much nastiness to us. So let's airstrike him. He's flying, so he'll take some damage. He's been anti-magicked at least twice now. So we'll just put our friend in between us and him. Doesn't seem to be trying to cast, but if he does, hopefully he fails. Oh man, a Hellion, really? See, this is what hell is like, man. You will end up in these situations where the game just throws stuff at you, just a gauntlet of the worst stuff in the game. And so we've been fighting this Brimstone Fiend, and we had a nice little plan to take care of him. Then this Hellion shows up. So we have a couple options here, but this is not a good situation to be in because he can call down Damnation, he can hurl Damnation, so he can't, at least this guy can't hit us. Let's try to airstrike the Hellion to death. On the other hand, he can torment us from over there. So instead, let's walk. Let's walk again and walk again. This way we only have to deal with one at once, and we'll start channeling. Okay, he's dead. We'll just rest up. And we'll airstrike him to death, and we'll rest up again. Finally. It's a bit hard to get an actual rest here. I am sorely tempted to train a bit of unarmed combat, just so we can kind of tab through these skulls a bit. Oh my gosh, we have 14 scrolls of magic mapping. Let's make use of that and get off this horrible floor. Because this is miserable. Sometimes the RNG just wants to make your life a bit difficult. Oh dang. We've tunneled directly into a vault, unfortunately, so. Whoops. Let's take out this guy, get our health back. And let the tentacle do the rest of the work. And let's go down here. And we got a Tormentor, so we're just going to walk away. We're going to take the exit. I believe I said I was going to grab this Manual of Invocations, and I meant it. If I had to leave Gehenna again, slight detour, grab that, train some invocations until the book is done. Any other manuals exist? No. Let's go back to Gehenna. Just a little bit of a detour there. We're starting to hurt on mana regeneration. See, this is the point in the game where I said that if you're playing perfectly or playing well, I've often said that you won't need much mana, but it sure does help, especially in the Hells where it's this sort of gauntlet. Look at that, I'm only on floor 2. And here I am with no mana left. Of course, if I had trained a weapon, a certain amount of that could be avoided. And by the way, when you go downstairs, it seems to be somewhat randomized. Which gateway on the next floor you'll actually get plunked down on. So don't assume that just because you found a viable path down to a certain floor, don't assume that you're going to land on it next time too. I am glad that I wore the extra pip of fire resistance because we are eating a lot of fire in here. back up. And you may have to clear it. You may have to do it this way. You may have to clear it a little bit piecemeal like this. And it might be a bit tedious, but I will say that I liked Hell. I like Hell in this game a lot more than I like Pan or Pandemonium. And the reason for that is that, to me, Hell is a lot more predictable. You can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that it's going to do this to you. But you know how many floors that you need to travel. You're not going to be in here for, you know, 40 minutes to 2 hours or whatever looking for the next rune. Because you know exactly where it is. It's on floor 7, guarded by the Hell Lord. It's just a matter of getting there. Oh gosh. Let's see if we can find a closer exit on floor 2 to floor 3. Seems like it's just not going to happen for us. It's really not going to happen for us. Jeez. And here's a brimstone fiend being deposited right next to us. Thank you, Gehenna. Really tempted to blow a teleport scroll, and I'm going to, just to get out of this. And it looks like it's dropped me right in the center of a giant pile of monsters, so let's get out of here. Teleport again. Not really in any danger right now, not with the ability to blink out. Just trying to speed this up a little bit for convenience sake. Of course, that's synonymous with bad play usually. Seems to be somebody blaring music in Arabic outside my house. It's not something you hear every day. These little kill holes we're making, or just little tiny tunnels we're making, are invaluable in Hell. If you want to get a rest... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're minus cast and we're next to a brimstone fiend. What do we do? We're going to scattershot him. He doesn't want to die. We're going to make some of these guys. And he can torment me all he wants because I'm leaving. Okay, he's dead. Good. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That could have been bad. Our tentacle decided to get severed right at that moment. He could have smacked us and we possibly could have died. Certainly possible. So really you're just kind of fighting the RNG here until you can get the level clear enough to get a path forward. And if you're some kind of Superman character with insane defenses, maybe you can just go ahead and fight your way directly to the downstairs. But I don't care how good your character is, unless you're undead, Torment's going to cause you some issues. And no matter what character you are, Hellfire just does not care about your defenses at all. Spellforged Servitor. That might be worth casting. That might be worth it. That very much might be worth it. We're going to memorize that real quick. And we're going to have that little buddy next to us as often as possible. Yeah, let's get him. He was available already, but he should save us a bit of magic. Let's make one. Let's see if he does anything fancy. Unfortunately, we have Airstrike, so he's going to cast that sometimes. But he will cast any conjuration spell, any damaging conjuration spell that we have above 50% and below or at level 6. I think it's 6 is the cutoff. So he's like a little spellcaster guy. Yeah, sometimes it's best to just sort of just take a stroll. See all this stuff? It's either speed 10 or speed 12, and none of it's terribly dangerous, but it is obnoxious. So all that I'm doing when I'm fighting this stuff is giving the game more chances to summon a Hellion or something right next to me. Oh man. Oh man, 3 and he doesn't die. Oddly enough, Hellions are not immune to fire. Alright, let's take another walk out of here. Let's pick up that Scattershot wand to replace the one that we used up just now. Identify it so we don't waste any charges. All of our cloud wands are empty and we're not going to pick up another one. We only train 9 evocations and I don't think it's worth wasting my last recharge scroll on. I see Depths has decided to spawn a few more things. Whoops. Hey, see here, the tentacle hits us. Just randomly. So that can happen even if it doesn't go hostile, just luck of the draw. I am trying to keep Depths 5 as clear as possible, so if I run into things here, I'm not going to just walk past it. But in Gehenna, sure. What do I have to gain by fighting things in there? It's the worst possible place. I don't want to even try to farm experience because the hell effects can be so nasty. So we're going to try to, from this point, to save both time and try to keep us out of danger, we're just going to try to walk our way to staircases and then blink out. Unless something is faster than us, or for some reason we feel like we need to fight it. Here we go. We'll take the hatch again. Hatches always send you to the same spot as far as I know. Which means that's a good hatch for getting lower in here. The Hell Hogs will fireball us every step of the way, so we do want to fight those. And now that we have a tentacle out, we can kill all this stuff. You know, I'm already regretting getting Spellforged Sentinel, but maybe I won't. Maybe I won't once I have to fight a Hell Lord or whatever you want to call it. What is the guy's name here? Serabov is the one for the fire pan. This guy is Asmodeus, I think. Let's use one of our fat stack of magic mappings here and head directly for the downstairs. We gotta kill Tormentors. Unfortunately, we just gotta take them out. Because they can do tons of... Whoa! Let's just get out of here. The old double blink. Just about had it with the quote-unquote fun of Brimstone Fiends. We're going to recharge our Wand of Digging. Thankfully, there is another Wand of Digging for sale, and we do have enough money for it, so if we run out of charges... it's not the end of the world. Let's use Channel Magic. All this resting is not great. I am going to go ahead and drink a Potion of Curing, so I can cure off that 6 points of rot. It's gotten significant enough that I don't want it anymore. And we'll Magic Map. Checking Shatter's castability here because... we'll go through it. But it would be so much more convenient if we just shattered the end of this thing. Yeah, we'll go through it. We're already down here. However, for the rest of these hells, we very much will consider at least shattering our way into the back of vaults. Oh gosh. Cannot catch a break here. Okay, we're gonna rely on channel. We're gonna rely on channel for real. And we're not going to rest at all unless we need hit points, at which point we're probably just gonna leave. Stuff doesn't want to let us through. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a back entrance? Thankfully, channel does a pretty hot job of keeping us topped off on mana. But we can't just spam it. You know, we 100%, we will run out of piety eventually. But we're still at max piety, so we're doing pretty well. Let's get out of, oh geez. Oh, we only have one fog scroll. Let's blink inside here. Just sort of walk away. Plus cast again. It's channel magic. And Viper. We're next to the Balrog, so we probably will not get damnationed. We'll make Tentacle, which is not in the best of positions right now. Let's make some buddies. Well, I don't want to make too much noise, even though we're quite noisy, so we'll make the Box of Beasts. There's a crazy man yelling outside my house. Things get more exciting by the minute. Okay. Not the best scatter shot we could do here. I want to say it does less damage if it's tilted like this. And he hits us with the damnation. Not good, not good. Let's try again. I do know we have the Balrog in range. Jeez. We have Scrolls of Blinking now, though, so if things get particularly bad, that's an option. Oh, you know what we can do? We could try to enslave. Only 36%, so not the best. We're gonna feel. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Did we get hit twice? Oh, we're done here. We're done here. There's two things that can torment us on the board. No, thanks. We are blinking. We have plus cast, so we can blink. And we're gonna Iron Shot him to finish him off. We're gonna see what's in here. Thankfully, it's only him. We're gonna make some more of these guys. We're gonna make even more. What is happening? What just happened? Oh, wow. He hit us with the Scythe of Freezing. Let's blink again. This time with the scroll. We're gonna haste. This is getting pretty bad. In fact, we should have hasted a while ago, considering this is not the best situation. We're gonna drink some potions of healing like we're an alcoholic here. There we go. Now I'm feeling a little bit less spooky here. That's pretty low. That's pretty low hit points to be at in hell with stuff surrounding you that can torment you and, you know, do all kinds of stuff to you. But we have a nice little army around us now, so it should be able to deal with most things. Okay, here we go. Try to let the tentacle deal with this stuff while we get our hit points back. Oh boy. As you saw, Reapers can do quite a lot of damage. 45, and then plus they have a brand that's based on, you know, flaming or freezing is based on the amount of damage they do in the first place, so it adds up. So I'm just gonna sort of bounce back and forth in this room with Blink while he goes away. Let the tentacle do the job. Maybe that's the slogan of this run. Maybe it's let the tentacle do the job. Oh boy. I was hoping they'd stay asleep. Can they open doors, I wonder? I don't think so. Ah, they can. Drat. Okay, that's fine. Everything's okay. Oh, hey, looks like we got the Malign Tentacle Hell effect, which means that I can't make my own Malign Gateway until that thing goes away. Something that can happen. Oh, jeez. That Etten zombie. Not to be underestimated at 11 hit points. Yeah? Or sorry, 11 AC. That's what I meant to say. What happened here? Just unavoidable damage. The only reason I'm not walking around with, you know, statue form up all the time is that it slows me down and I'd like to be able to cast spells. How did you survive? Jeez. How did he survive past that tentacle? Maybe it was another spawn. Continually... Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, I did not mean to walk right into him. I'm gonna blink away from this stuff. Hopefully the tentacle does its job this time. Yes, it did. It killed both. I'm totally fine with letting it kill them off screen. Look at how many brimstone fiends there are. Blink away, let the tentacle do it. And he dies. Oh, geez. This is one hell effect. Look at this. Come on. Come on, game. Let's blink over here. Let's blink over here. Let's make the tentacle again. Let's make some of these guys. Can you believe that? Channel again. Okay. We're at the boss, Asmodeus, Prince of Gehenna. Wielding a ruby scepter. which is the Scepter of Asmodeus, which summons demons, fire demons, which then betray you. Probably not going to use it because we do not have much in the way of invocations. We have 9, but that's just not much. And it's not really, in my opinion, as good as the Geryon horn, because the horn can kind of push things away from you. This cannot. So we still got a gateway up. I know he's there because he has fire around him all the time. That's got to be him. So we're going to shout. We're going to try to beat him without using haste because we've been sucking down our haste a lot. Excuse me. You know what? Let's see what the tentacle can do. It might kill him all on its own. You feel a bit more experienced? Maybe. You feel a bit more experienced. Boy, did you just kill him all on your own? Nope. Alright, things about Asmodeus. He's just the fire dude, but he can damnation you. So you can kind of think of him as just a big Balrog. A big Balrog that can damnation you. But he also summons, I don't know, he summons various things, including Hellions, I believe. And of course you can abjure your summons, but that doesn't really apply to Tentacle. Boy, we don't want to be next to him, and we don't want to be next to his little brimstone fiend buddy either. So let's just take a little stroll. Oh man. Look at all this. The game trolled me. It made an Eldritch Tentacle. Oh no. I didn't think he would come this far out. It's a bit dangerous in here. Okay. He doesn't really venture too far from his base. Or rather, the room that he spawns in most cases, in my experience. Let's use channel, so we're not resting so long. Wow. I took a step, and he hit me with damnation. Let's check his stats a bit. Asmodeus. What do we got here? Just checking his speed. He's speed 10, so nothing wrong with us just walking away from him. If he chases us, great. Let's give the tentacle another chance. Okay, we'll summon a bunch of dudes, and we'll fight him from here. Okay? And if he summons some Hellions that can Hellfire us from far away, then maybe we'll bail. But Hurl Damnation is his version of Damnation, and I believe that's the one where he requires Line of Fire. So I think maybe we'll just see, you know, we'll see what happens here. Let's order everything to attack and just kind of go to work. Well, that could be better. Mana Viper is attacking the Balrog instead of Asmodeus, but he's not close enough to hit Asmodeus. And in fact, there is a Hellion here. Let's just try to, let's manage the Hellions and see, give our minions time to do some work. So we airstrike the Hellion, Tentacle kills the Hellion, Abominations are punching Balrog and Asmodeus. Asmodeus is flying, so airstrike, we should get some work out of it. Let's hit him again. Let's go ahead and channel, just to be prepared. It's one of those things you want to do in this game, is you want to do things several turns before you'll need them. And I'm running a little bit low on magic, so if I use channel now, I will not have mana problems later. Let's remake our army. Oh, what? Dang it. Whoops. I made a brimstone fiend. Channel again. If we could get a couple hits with these guys, that would make our life a lot easier. Oh, please tell me. Come on. Nope. Not yet. We really want to hit him with these mana vipers, because as you know, he's got anti-magic on there, but unfortunately they're not really hitting him. He is wrecking them as well. But all of his stuff is affected by anti-magic. Whoops. Keep hitting the wrong key here. I'm trying to cast another Viper. We get anything there? Nope, no hits. I see they keep biting him and doing no damage, which unfortunately can happen. What happened here? I took a ton of damage somehow. Oh my god. That's cute. The hell effects are hitting me mid-combat and tormenting me. How fun is that? We may have to bail on this fight. Maybe not, though. Yeah, he can summon those brimstone fiends, which unfortunately is not ideal for us. Let's get out of here. Oh, a Zot trap. Ew. Wow, no. Somehow knew that would happen. The game, it spawned a Zot trap, right? I mean, there was a Zot trap there. I mean, the game spawned dudes that were spawned from a Hell effect on top of the Zot trap. How cute is that? And then we got hit with the Zot effect. That could have been the end of us. That could have been paralysis. This is the reason why I think Zot traps are just kind of dumb. However, despite all of his abilities, Asmodeus is slowly going down to a combination of tentacle and horrible things. He's not going down softly, though. We've got Aphrides here now. Fireballing a lot. Of course, Asmodeus being a god of fire, or a demon of fire, I guess, is not going to care too much about the fireballs. Oh, jeez, this Hellion. Something hit me? Nice. Balrog is smiting me. Jeez. Let's close this door. Oh, we rested. Okay. Oh, he's dead. Excellent. Okay. Tentacle must have finished him off. Let's try to get our hit points back, assuming... assuming too many Brimstone Fiends don't just show up. Scepter of Asmodeus. This is going to be the Scepter's final resting place, because we don't care about it, so it stays here. And here we go. There's some small treasure vaults here. Generally, you're not going to find anything in here that you need. It's possible. But at this point in the game, you really ought to have everything that you could want. except for more runes. And there we go. That is our first extended rune, the obsidian rune of Zot. And so we teleport because we don't want to deal with an extended, frustrating trek back. Drink a potion of flight. And we're just going to walk on out of here with the help of Seablink. Okay, a little over 1 hour time in Gehenna. It's just one branch, but as you can see, it can be a bit frustrating. Let's see. Before we sign out, let's just assess our situation a little bit. From now on, we're going to have 2 slots for food. And we're going to go ahead and restock our food supply a bit. Then I'll talk a little bit about what it is that we're going to do next. See, we're probably just going to go into another hell, but we'll want to just kind of repair some things before we do that. Even if it's something as simple as swapping off this protection from fire ring. Here we go, kind of throughout the game. Okay, here we go. That should tide us over for a while. 6 bread, 6 meat. And it looks like at some point, I didn't notice, but it looks like at some point we picked up this ring. A Balrog had it, oddly enough. It's a ring of ice, which is also an artifact that gives +6 intelligence. This would be a pretty sweet thing if we didn't have a ton of intelligence already, and if we were going ice, but we really don't have any ice magic. In fact, I don't think I've trained any ice magic at all. Yeah, 0. So we're going to drop this guy. Well, maybe. Tell you what. We're going to wear it. And I'll tell you why we're going to wear it. We're going to wear it in the place of our +6 ring of intelligence, right? And it's going to subtract 1 pip of resistance from fire and add 1 to cold, right? And we're going to end up with a net gain of 1 intelligence. And this is going to be a good candidate for us to take off along with the ring of protection from fire. But not until we're done with Coquetus, which is where we'll go next. Not sure if that's optimal, but it's nice to have 2 pips of the resistance that constitutes the place you're going into. Alright, well, that'll be it for this video. Until next time.